What's going on, everybody? Hey, look, I got one of these 1980s wrestlers, guys. This is Greg the Hammer Valentine. He used to be. When I was a kid, I colored his hair in. He used to have blonde hair, and I tried to color his pants in with permanent marker. I think I tried to make him into Brutus the Barber Beefcake, even though they had a Brutus Barber Beefcake figure. I didn't have it, so I tried to make him into it because who really cared about Greg the Hammer Valentine? Anyways, I got a ton of these wrestling guys, these wrestling figures from when I was a kid, and I gave them to my son. But they all look like this. They're all beat the hell. I mean, that's the great thing about these toys is you could really beat the shit out of these things, and they bounce right back. They hold up really well, unless you're like me and bite the nose off of Hulk Hogan like I did when I was a kid. Anyways, so I'm going to try to clean this guy up, try to get him back to as original as possible. I don't think it's going to work that well because, like I said, it is permanent marker. But we're going to see how I do and get it back into playable, throwable, bustable condition like it was when I was a kid, so my son can have as much fun with it as I did. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash the hell out of this guy. Just soap and water. You know what? They say you're not supposed to get rubber wet, but like I said, it's seen better days anyways, and there's really no way to clean this thing with, and I don't have any Armor All cleaner, which is probably something that you should use because it is made of rubber. But soap and water will be good too. Maybe it'll help knock off some of that dirt that's been up, been in these crevices for a while. So I'm gonna get the water on super hot. I got a little scrub brush here. And you know what I also have is dishwashing liquid, like for your dishwasher. And I've got regular Dawn soap too, but I'm gonna start with the dishwashing liquid. I'm gonna get this guy wet. Ooh, super hot water. Get him nice and wet. Throw a little bit of the old Cascade on there. Got a scrub brush here. I'm just gonna work it in and really scrub off all that dirt and grime. Try to get those years of play out of it, all the spit, all the times I put it in my mouth. Really get in there and try to get into all those crevices. Try to get those legs where I put the marker on. Let's see how he does. Giving this guy a nice bath. Now you can even see like the dirt's just coming right off of him. All right. So now that I've got him nice and scrubbed, I'm just gonna rinse him, and then we'll do a second round with the Dawn soap. Woo! That's hot. So I didn't take a lot of the permanent marker off, but I did get him nice and clean. Like the dirt is gone, the marker is not gone. Didn't expect it to be, but I think I might have a solution for this, and I'm gonna try a magic eraser. Now look, a magic eraser isn't abrasive. If you don't want to scratch lightly the surface of this thing, you probably don't want to use a magic eraser or an eraser. I've heard of people using erasers to get out paint scuffs and things like that. Like I said, I don't care. My kid's going to play with it. He's going to beat the shit out of these things anyways. I'm not trying to preserve the integrity of the product because I don't think they're going to last another 35, 40 years anyways, because rubber does degrade over time. But I am going to just try to get it as clean and as playable as possible so it can last as long as it can and hold up to whatever we throw at this thing. All right, so let me get this washed, another scrub, round 2, and then I'm going to dry it off, make sure it's nice and dry, and then that's where I'll catch back up with you. There he is, all dried off, out of the bath. Got some of that shine on him. Shine back, that dirt matte is gone, but a lot of that permanent marker still remains in the paint. But a lot of it, more of it came off than I thought, and his hair is even a little more yellow now. A lot of that marker came off of the hair. So I'm gonna try a magic eraser now and see if we can get this dude even closer to where he was originally without taking off the original paint, because as you can see, this guy's actually in pretty good shape compared to my other guys, but like a lot of times this paint just has been knocked off over time. All right, I got a magic eraser. I'm gonna see if I can get some of these paint scuffs off. Let's try this one right there on his arm. You see that one on his arm right there? I'm gonna try to get that off. I'm just gonna rub it with this thing, give it a little elbow grease. And is it doing a job? It is kind of coming off. Let's see. This thing's also falling apart. I'm erasing years of play just to give a nice, fresh canvas for my kids to put their own paint scuffs on. So you see, I got it off pretty much. And I could do this with the whole thing and try to get all these little scuffs off. So I'll probably work at that a little bit. I'm not gonna go crazy though, because you know, we're not trying to make them perfect. We're just trying to make them clean. All right. I should also tell you, there are some people who have used, and I have used acetone to remove some of these paint scuffs, like nail polish remover. You can do that, it totally works. It actually works really well, and it's a lot less time consuming. However, acetone and rubber are not friends. So it has the potential to damage this rubber and degrade it more so than it already is. For these toys, and if you're just like cleaning a spot and you wash it right off after you use the acetone, you should be fine. I don't know, I'm not a scientist. You can use it, just make sure you wash it off really good and dry it really well after you get the scuff off and the paint off. I just don't feel like going upstairs to get my wife's nail polish remover. All right, I'm getting to a spot where I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but it wasn't ever going to be. You could spend as much time as you want. If you really want to make this thing pristine, you go ahead and do that. I do not have the luxury of doing that. If my wife knew I was spending so much time cleaning my toys, she'd probably throw a fit, especially when I should be vacuuming or doing something like that. So you spend as much time as you need. I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. Make sure I wash off all of these little magic eraser parts, and just be happy with the scars of play gone by still visible on this guy. But he does look a heck of a lot better than he did when I started. My wife, God bless her, is a kindergarten teacher, so she's got a little bucket of crafting stuff that I found, paints and whatnot. So I got these little acrylic paints here. You know, she's got all different colors, greens, blues, reds, all that good stuff. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this cheap acrylic paint. This one is black. Like I said, this guy's got two colors. He's got yellow, he's got black. It's the easiest, you know, thing you can possibly do here. So I don't even think I'm gonna have to mix anything. I got black, and she's got two different yellows in here. One is bright yellow and one is regular yellow. I don't know, I'm just gonna do regular yellow. I got a paintbrush. Let me see if she's got any other paintbrushes in here. Oh, look at that. She's got a bunch of paintbrushes, huh? Oh, if she only knew I was using her little craft bucket. All right, oh, that's a good brush. All right, so I'm gonna brush his ass and his boots with black. Not a lot of stuff I have to fill in here. So these are, you know, this guy's in pretty good shape. All right, real easy. I get to shake this paint up. All right, put a little bit, whoop. Just a dollop on the plate here, on a paper plate, boink. And I'm gonna just paint his butt. Oh yeah, look at that. Maybe I'll just paint the whole thing. Give it a whole coat. And if your guys are really destroyed in the paint department, go ahead and paint them. You can paint them whatever color you want. You don't even have to make them the same color. I'm just trying to renew this guy a little bit. So you can paint your guys whatever you want to paint them. Give them a rainbow spandex Speedo thing. You can paint pants on them. If you want to wear pants, have them wear pants. Who cares? You can do whatever you want. I'm like the Bob Ross of painting old wrestlers. A happy little boot right here. The other thing about this guy, Greg the Hammer Valentine, is he doesn't stand up very well. He has to be propped up. So that's a pain in the butt. Because sometimes you can just stand the guys up and paint them and look at them as you're doing it. Oops, don't touch the paint like I did. Idiot. Not too shabby. He's looking good. You can give him different color boots. You can get intricate in your designs. It's really up to you. They're your wrestling guys. They're not worth a lot of money, so who cares? So now that I've got the black painted on pretty uniformly, I'm gonna go ahead and try to make his hair back to yellow. So like I said before, this guy, when I was a kid, I wanted him to be Brutus the Barber Beefcake and not Greg the Hammer Valentine. So I colored his hair in with black marker and purple marker, I think. I can't tell. It might even be that the color underneath the yellow paint is purple, like the color of the rubber itself is purple. Anyways, we're gonna cover our color over that. But you can make his hair whatever color you want. You can turn this guy into whoever, whatever, it doesn't matter. The great thing about these toys is that they're made of rubber and they are virtually indestructible unless you chew on them. Okay, now I'm gonna do yellow. All right, so I'm gonna do yellow. This does not look like a bright yellow. It just looks like a very dull yellow. But it kind of matches what his hair was before, I guess. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not going for a full reproduction. Ooh. But just to freshen up what it was. I'll probably end up giving it a couple coats. Same thing with the black. After it dries, I'll just kind of look and see. He wasn't too bad starting off, so we'll come back and I'll show you what I do to seal it all in at the end. All right, while I'm waiting for this guy to dry, I decided I was gonna go ahead and wash off some of the other guys. I already did King Kong Bundy, I already did the Iron Sheik, but look at Big John Studd, man. I think this was the first one I ever got, and he has totally seen better days. He is all jacked up. So I think just washing him is gonna, it'll bring him back a little bit, and then maybe, I don't think I have all the paint colors I need for these guys, but maybe just filling in some of his hair or his beard or something. I mean, it's kind of cool to see how much dirt and grime are on these things, but it's also really nice to see them cleaned up and shiny again. So I'm gonna work on these guys. Oh, here's the Hulk Hogan with his nose bit off. You know who bit off his nose? It was George the Animal Steel. I mean, it was me, but it was George's idea. You know what I don't have Macho Man's color. I don't have this color. So I don't even know if I can make it. I can do his sunglasses, maybe his headband a little bit. All right, last part, and this is the easy part. You really can't mess this up. You're gonna seal what you just painted. As long as it's dry, you can seal it up with Mod Podge. I don't know. This is what Jessica, my wife, had in her craft box, and it's like a clear coat that you can put on to give it that little rubbery, plasticky shine that these characters have. And by the way, look, I washed off Big John Studd. Look how nice he turned out. This is permanent marker. It will not come off. You know, you could probably get it off with like the acetone. Don't do rubbing alcohol because it'll destroy the rubber. But if it's permanent marker, just, you know, it's a scar. It's love. It shows character. And I ended up just kind of painting his face a little bit. So there, Big John Studd looks a lot better than he did before. I'm going to fill in the white and the red on his pants and shoes. Okay, so Greg Valentine, this guy's still ready to be sealed up. Got his hair back to the original-ish yellow. And I filled in some of the paint on his pants and boots. So now I'm going to take this Mod Podge stuff, which kind of looks like glue. And I'm just going to seal in those places that I painted, starting with his ass. There you go. Look at that. See? It goes on white, but it'll dry clear and kind of glossy. Should protect it a little bit. I don't know how this is going to hold up when you play with it, and we will be playing with these. These are going to get used. These are not for display. These are not for collecting. They're for playing with. I'm going to see if my parents still have the ring, the wrestling ring that I used to have when I was a kid in the basement. Next time I go up there. So that's all you really got to do is you seal them up, you let that dry, and he gets glossy. I'll show you one that I've already done. So this is King Kong Bundy. This I don't have a before picture of it, but he was all jacked up. His little singlet here was all paint chipped off and gone, and his boots were pretty much down to the bare skin tone. But I painted him up, and then I put the Mod Podge on, and you can kind of see how glossy it is there now. So he still maintains that gloss throughout. He does have some permanent marker damage. Actually, right here, I shoved a pencil into his head once when I was a kid. I was really hard on these toys. And it just goes to show you how well made they are, these rubber things, because it's been, what, 35 years or so? You know, they still look pretty good, even with the permanent marker and the pencil in the head. Yeah, I can't wait to play with these with my son Beckett. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, so that's what the Mod Podge does. It gives it that nice little gloss. You can still beat it up. I don't know how well the acrylic paint will hold up after play. I mean, it might start cracking, but you know, whatever. We can always repaint them or not. Let him get crazy, and maybe when he's older and he has children, he'll try to fix them up for him. All right, so that's it. Greg the Hammer Valentine, looking pretty good. Just gonna seal him up, and he's looking a lot better than he did an hour ago. Okay, have fun.